pre-show. Pre-show. Pre. Where is it? Where is it? Gosh, where is it? Oh, that's me right there. Hi. I see. Yeah. Gosh. Alright. It works. Good. Googly moogly. Oh my gosh, 2 weeks in a row. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. At all. Unbelievable. Can't believe this stuff right here. This is great. It's great. Because, oh, there we go. Oh, I can't see. Well, I can't see, but I can't see. Alright, that's there. That's the action. Put that down there so I don't have to stretch my brain so hard. I need something else up there. What am I looking for? Oh, Twitch. Yeah. Sorry, that's my Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. I'm sorry. Will Sasso got me hooked on Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. His particularly words, and he's just freaking funny. He's a funny man that is too funny for funnies. Okay, so that window's broken. Let's try that again. Pull it down, baby. Pull it down, baby. See, there I am. I got all my chats up, yo. No, don't do that. Just go there. There you go. Thank you. So I got my Twitch chat. I got all games. I got Mixer. I got all games Discord. My sound doesn't sound horrible. It's great. Let me see. Is this working? Hey, there's the multi. Hey, there's me. That's when you get close up. That's when you do that real quick. You gotta make sure you get the. Yeah, I was watching. I got a text. I was watching Young in his last video. He's talking about Death Stranding, and sorry, I can't text and speak at the same time. And as his outro, he's filming his outro. Oh, that's just thoughts of one dude. That's me. If you like Patreon, blah blah blah, support me. He had a big nasty gooba booger up inside his nostril. It wasn't hanging out. It was just like inside the rim, just like, yo, what's up? I'm a booger snot. And I'm like, ugh. And I notice things like that. I'm just, I guess details oriented when it comes to aesthetics, because as I guess part of a videographer, cinematographer, camera operator, you have to see things, composition, make sure your subject's lit right, everything's right, make sure ain't no boogers in their nose, and that's what happened. And I was like, wow. So if y'all want to see a YouTube boogers, go to that's probably a channel, but don't go there. Go to Young his last video about Death Stranding. I think it was about Death Stranding. Pretty sure it was about Death Stranding. Yeah, he had a big white one. It was so big and make me think I got a phantom boogie. If you guys haven't noticed, I feel better. And I was gonna take some drugs before the show, just in case, because I did do a session today. But I think I feel good enough, so I'm not gonna do that. So let me get butt going here. But. All right, there we go. So then we go here, and then we go stream, and then we go manually R9 cast live. Yeah, cause I don't remember. I don't remember the number. So we've given up on numbers for the R9 cast. It's just let's do a show every week. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Well, you know, numbers are just sequential things to say you did that many. And I guess maybe it's important for future references or something. Like, I did about I'm in probably 380. I don't know. Does it matter anymore? What does matter is how many people tune in, more so than the actual number that I reach. If I'm doing a podcast with one person, does it matter if I do 1,000? In the grand scheme of things, not really. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of things don't matter. But in our little microcosmos of reality, you know, certain things matter to certain people. Let me take out my keys. They feel heavy on my body. So, pre-show. What is pre-show talk? What's pre-show talk when everything works? Because the pre-show is really just to make sure that everything works, or to get everything to work. But when everything works, then pre-show is like, oh yeah, it's just stretch. Stretch before you work out. I guess that's what it is. And I'm so happy. I'm an idiot, but I'm so happy. So I had a session today with Rocco and Tony. Tony and Rocco, if you want to be chronological about it. And I'm an idiot because I got an M-Box 2. I bought this thing like 1,000 years ago. Still works beautifully. Must say, I'm sorry. I have hooked up to my laptop, so I technically have a portable music studio, basically. So if I say, oh man, I gotta go on a trip to Belize, so I gotta go to Spain or something, right? I could pick up my laptop, pick up my M-Box, grab the keyboard. Actually, I can actually do music from the actual keyboard, the keyboard, if I wanted to. That's a hard way to do music. I've never tried to do a beat that way, but you know, grab a keyboard. It's only a 40. I think it's a 49. Yeah, it's a 49, little 49 baby. You know, grab those three things and the appropriate chords as far as power, set of headphones, and I'm good to go. I can make music anywhere. And I had the audio settings wrong for forever, and I was getting latency that I couldn't. I was getting MIDI latency that I was like, why am I getting MIDI latency? What the hell's going on? I was getting audio latency from mic to, you know, and then I looked. For some reason I was like, oh, let me go look, and I went in there. I'm like, why is this on MME or whatever the internal audio card of this laptop? I'm like, why is it on there? I have the M-Box, so I switched it to whatchamacallit. Wow, I can't remember the words, escape me. But I switched it to the M-Box, and boom, everything's beautiful now. I'm like, oh man, this is so good, so good. So now I'm good to go, and everything works perfect now. So I'm like, yeah, got no latency and nothing. So happy. And then when I get another audio interface for this computer that I'm streaming on, then I can probably most definitely stream music easier, like music, like me doing the beats and streaming me doing the beats. I can't do it right now because this is the input that I have right now, and it's working fine, so I don't want to mess with it. But once I get the other thing and I hook everything up and all the wires everywhere, and I'm like, okay, please work. And if it works, and I'm like, hallelujah. Sorry, that's a joke. It's that joke that no one gets. Anyway, so yeah, I was kind of happy about that. Kind of is a soft word. I was very happy when that happened. I was like, yes, because I was doing vocals today. Well, I was recording vocals. I wasn't doing vocals. I was recording the vocals. I was like, oh man, I hope this. How's this good? And then it worked, and I was like, yeah. I said like that. I said, yeah. Just like that. Just like that. Let me do a test real quick. Excuse me. I know this isn't going to work, but I'm going to do a test anyway. What up, y'all? It's our Nightcast, the official Blind Edition Crystal Super Dope Show for Esgee.com, representing allgames.com. I am Stephen D. Gibson, aka SGE, aka Electron Bandit, aka Stop It, aka I think I said them all. Electron Bandit, SG, Stephen D. Yeah, that's me. That's it. Yeah, said them all. Yeah. Welcome to show number 380 something. I don't know what the show number is. I could probably do math or something. Say like, oh well, the last show I recorded was in 2017. Was it 2017? Just November 2017. It was that one week. Actually, that's not true because I did a hiatus. Oh man, there's no way to actually find out. You know, it's like, it's like that. It's like, I'm good. Today, I want to talk about, the correlation between what a predominant video game company is doing and our president. I want to talk about that. It's it's an observation that I realized. I was like, wait a second. You know? I want to talk about that and how it kind of I mean, that correlation, but also the fact that the vernacular of the country is changing because of our president, and not in a good way. I mean, it would be cool, like, say if Neil deGrasse Tyson was our president, and he was just spitting out knowledge and wisdom and stuff like, oh, wow, and broadening our minds, and be like, wow, think about it this way, think about it that way, you know? And he's a good sense of humor, he's a cool guy, right? And when you listen to somebody like that, and you look up to somebody like that, as I do, him, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bob Ross, Phil Spencer's on the alternate. He's might be getting a seat on the great people of our society, of the societies. There was someone else. There was one other person that I do not remember. And that's how you know. That's like that's how great that guy is. It was a guy. I know it wasn't a female. Not that I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. It's just no. I wouldn't remember the female. I'd be like, yeah, she be on the top. Tiger Claw says, sup SG, today's Canada Day. I'm sure Bridget is out there. So no, that's not how Canada Day works. They don't care. Every day is Canada Day for Canadians. They're like, poutine time. And like, that was yesterday too. Ice cream. Yo, Canadian ice cream ain't no joke. Like real cream, like the cows in the back sitting on a block of ice. That's how delicious the ice cream was. I was like, yo, the best ice cream I ever had was in Canada. I was like, how is this possible? This is so delicious. It's good. Paces on no Sony Hate Cast is on. I should call it that. I should call my show. I should change it to the Sony Hate. If I do that, and I change my show to the Sony Hate Cast, I would probably get a whole bunch more listeners, followers, and all that stuff. If I go on YouTube like, yo, what's up, dude? It's your dude, Sony Hate Cast. That's what we talking about. Oh, dang, you saw that fit, right? You know? But it would have to, if I would talk like that, it would be a Sony Love Cast, because that's how the fanboys be talking. Because they in love with a stripper? No. They in love with, might as well be, they taking their money and not giving them any real love. Is that a good analogy? Like Sony is stripper, just taking all your money, faking the love. Actually, that's a better analogy than I thought it was. Sony's taking your money, giving you that fake love, then you find out the love ain't real, and they be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here, I gotta go find me another John, yo. Well, do strippers have Johns? I don't know if it works that way, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So we'll talk about that, sure. Pace posted me a question yesterday in Discord chat. I'm sorry, Pace. I was in chat and literally my chat client crashed. I was like, "What's going on?" All my text, like I was typing, I put it up and it was red, and I was like, "What?" And it crashed. My whole Discord client crashed. I didn't understand it, and it was late, so I was like, I gotta go play some Xbox or something. So I played Sea of Thieves for like 5 hours, solo dolo. Even though Tedekin and Sub-Z were on, I didn't realize they were at the time. But I looked up, like I used check my friends list to see who's playing what. 4 o'clock in the morning, they're playing Sea of Thieves. So I'm like, man, it's too late. I'm done. I already did my couple of missions. I got my my blue chips or whatever they're called to get my extra stuff, the new currency in Sea of Thieves. So I was like, I can't, not tonight, guys. But I like playing with them because, you know, I get a lot of progress and a lot of, you know, when we work together, you get a lot more done, basically. So I'm going to see if they're on tonight and hopefully play with them. But yes, it's Friday and Saturday is usually the night we play together, which is cool. But yeah, the question was, what exclusives are you looking forward to? Well, Pace was asking me, what exclusives am I looking forward to from E3? And I was assuming he was talking about like, on the Xbox side. First and foremost, the Xbox to me has become the Forza Horizon box. Now, some people, I was listening to PGR, Post Game Report, yeah, PGR, and I don't know why I listen to it because it's really torture. I'm listening to these guys. They're like, "Oh, we're Halo fans and we love it," blah blah blah, right? But they talk shit and they shit on it all day long. They shit on Microsoft. They don't give. I'm listening to these guys, right? And they one of them gave the Sony conference an A-, and I'm like, huh? And if you pay attention, to how people are speaking. The main thing for me is that a lot of fanboys, not saying that Pace is, this is not me talking about Pace. This is me talking about fanboys. Pace is actually an intelligent individual who just likes to make fun of me and Xbox, which is fine because that's what friends. I don't know if we're friends. I mean, we're internet friends, whatever you want to say, but that's what your friends do. You know, they jab fun at you, you know, and then you can all laugh at it at the end. And that's what I like about all games in general. It's like, you know, that's how we do. But the real fanboys who get upset about stuff where like, why are you upset? Yo, it's just a video game. It's like, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna get upset if the one time I was upset was when they announced the Dreamcast was dying. Basically, they said that Dreamcast is done. I was like, it was just I just got it. Like it just been a year, and then they killed it. I was like, because I was a Sega fanboy, you know. So I was upset then, but then I was like, you know what? It's just video games. Something new will come along and make me feel fine, and it'll be fun again, you know. So it's not a big deal. But anyway, a lot of these fanboys change the rhetoric, their narrative, if you will. Those words have been dancing around for years now to suit their needs. So what it is the Sony fanboys right now are happy and they're like, yeah, we're the best. And there are certain people, I don't want to say all the fanboys are this, but there are certain people, generally speaking, that want to be part of the winning team, regardless of whatever the situation. They want to be part of the winning team. They want to be winners with the winners, blah, 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 right? Right now, visually speaking, optically speaking, the PlayStation 4, Sony and the PlayStation 4, or the PlayStation 4, let's just say that, is winning, right? So anything negative against them, it's like, oh, that's not a big deal. Oh, you know, Fortnite, I don't play that anyway. You know, they say things like, oh, they're anti. No, they're not. It's like you're ignoring the facts. You're ignoring the actual reality and giving them a pass because they're winning. You want to be part of a winning team. You don't want to be a loser. And I'm like, that's not how. I mean, that's perception is reality, but what's happening now is not really that healthy for the industry, A. It's not healthy for Sony in the long run because it's like false. It's like a false reality. It's not real. They're saying, oh, we sold more units. They've sold more PS4s than whatever, Xbox and Switch. Okay, that's fine. Are they making more money than Microsoft or Nintendo? Are they worth more than Microsoft or Nintendo? I mean, those are questions you should be asking, because the health of the company is more important than how many units they sold of one particular product. They've had many products that didn't. Remember the PSP TV, whatever the hell that stupid thing was called? Oh yeah, you can play PSP games on your. Who wants to do that? Nobody, because nobody bought that. PSVR, they're still struggling to get people to buy it. They're struggling so bad that they have to drop the price from $400 to $200. It's half price now. They cut the price in half. So, I mean, it's kind of, and like going back to PGR, I'm listening to these guys, and I was listening to, they were talking about the Sony and Nintendo conferences all together in one show because they were so short. It was not, you can't fill an hour and change with just the Sony conference with the 4 games plus. So I was like, okay, let me listen to this. I got about halfway in, and I was like, I can't. There was one dude on there that was like, you guys are really just sucking on Sony's this and that. And I was like, yeah, okay, this one, yeah. His mic was all messed up. Well, of course his mic was messed up. And I was like kind of doing some at the same time, so I wasn't really paying attention that much. But I was like, how? Okay, so their argument is Sony, it doesn't matter what the presentation was, which is true and not true. Because especially for Sony, a Japanese company, where pride is one of the main things. They have to look good. You can't shame them. They can't look like fools or idiots, right? It's about saving face. That's the whole culture in Japan, saving face. And if you put out a whack-ass conference that makes you look horrible as a company, but the games are good. But see, that's, I mean, it's and another thing is, like, if you look at like the whole E3, right? What game has been talked about more than all the other games? Cyberpunk. Where was Cyberpunk? Cyberpunk was on Xbox. Now, if Cyberpunk was on Sony's, they'd be like, "Oh my God, Cyberpunk! Oh, it's so good." I'm like, wait a second, it's third party. It's not exclusive. What you talking about, right? But when the shoe's on the other foot, third parties are all up on Microsoft, not on Sony's. They're like, "Oh, I can play that on my pig thing. I can play that anyway. I don't need to." You see, they're on the winning team, but they don't get all that good stuff. So they're like, they kind of hurt. So it's like, oh man, we didn't get the good stuff. So they just push it aside. Like, man, that ain't nothing. Man, we'll see. Here's the thing. I don't know if people, I don't know if they realize it or I never checked the all games audio. Let me check it real quick. Yeah. So I don't know if let me go over here. Sorry. Here we go. I don't know if people realize. I forgot what I was talking about. Forgot it. That's what happens. I get distracted. I lose my train of thought. Cause I'm old, which is bad. I need to eat something that helps with that ginkgo biloba. Whatever. Anyway, so it's like the narrative and the whole, generally speaking, I look at Nintendo and they're doing their Nintendo thing, and they're contributing to video games, the industry, because they have a handheld that's powerful enough to play these games, even though they're like, sub 720p most of the time, 30 frames per second. But still, you're playing Doom on a Switch, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of all right. You know what I mean? You could play Fortnite with somebody on the Switch and the Xbox crossplay. That's kind of all right. That's the future is now. That is the future. And the fact that Sony's like, nah, son. The whole thing with Sean Layden is like, oh, we hear you. We're looking at the possibilities of the. Yeah, okay. Like I said last week, it's BS. They ain't gonna do nothing. This is not Sean Layden's decision. It is on corporate is Sony Japan. Sony Japan will not budge an inch for Xbox or the Switch. They will not budge for Microsoft. They will not budge for Nintendo. They hate Nintendo. After what happened back in, they never gonna know. They never gonna be like, yeah, we and Nintendo are happy. No, never. Sony is on their island all alone, all alone. So I think they will never do crossplay. I think it's in the same respect where they did mods, right? They're like, no, we're not doing mods, and then they did mods, but they were whack as hell. They were like, oh, they're not. Those aren't real mods. That's why even have mods? It's just bullshit mods. Like, oh, you can have mods, but only in-game stuff. You can't have any outside. Like, what? How does? That's not mods. That's the God mode enabled. That's all that is. That's you know, you're doing. That's no. Get out of here. I was like, if I had the choice, I was like, okay, you have a version on console A or console B. This console A has all the mods, everything. You got Randy Savage. Well, I don't think you have that, but you have all these crazy mods. But on console B, you have a few, not as many. It's not as good, and the graphics aren't as good. The console A has the better graphics and the better mods. This one, not so good. I mean, it's alright, but it's just good, but not as many mods. Which one will you pick? And people are like, oh, I got a good enough station, so I'm gonna just play it on that. I'm like, yo. I mean, good enough station? Sure. If you want to live that way, if you want to say, hey, it's good enough. Honestly, right now, the PlayStation 4 is the Spider-Man God of War box. That's it. Because Detroit is hot garbage. You know your game is hot garbage. You know your $60 triple A game is hot garbage when a $30 triple B game beats you in NPD. You know your game is hot garbage when a half the price game beats you. That means it had to sell twice as many. That's what that means. If y'all don't know, NPD works off of income revenue. It's not about units sold. It's about how much money you made. State of Decay is $30. There's a $50. I think there's a $50 or $60 version, but generally speaking, $30. Detroit is $60. They had to sell way more State of Decays than they did Detroit's to sell. It beat God of War too, but you know, God of War's been out for a while, so you can expect that. Besides, also in God of War is like, you play it once and yeah, you're done. You play it, you do everything in the game. You're done. That's it. You're not going back to play God of War. Cause that's what type of game y'all like. Oh, I like the single player games aren't dead. Well, it's dead once you finish with it. Once you're done, once you completed it, you're like, yeah, I did it, yay. And then Thor comes out like, yo, where's my brothers and sons at, or whatever. I don't know what happened. Where they at? And it's the end. And they're like, oh, okay. And then you take the disc, instead of handing it to your boy and the boys, you throw it in the back. Cause it's useless now. You're not gonna go, yo, hey yo, come on, let's go, let's get on God of War, let's play some multiplayer, let's play some maps. No, you can't do that. Why? Cause it's just single player. You get what hey, don't be sad. This is what you asked for, fans. You said I like the single player game. Look, I like single player games too, but if it's just one and done, then guess what? How's your revenue gonna be like Grand Theft Auto? Grand Theft Auto is the most successful game in the history of games right now, and it's not because the single player game, not because it was a single player open world game, it's not because it was a single player narrative driven game, because of GTA Online. GTA 5 Online is why Grand Theft Auto is the most successful game. Minecraft, open world, user generated, seeds and all that stuff. Multiplayer, still going strong. Still going strong. That's what I'm saying. And people are like, I mean, I don't. If you look at the top games on Steam, none of them are single player. That's what I'm saying. If people, I just don't get it. I don't get it. As much as I scream and holler and hoop, I don't get it. I'm like, you guys, and it comes down to fanboyism. It comes down to wanting to be part of the winning team. And I understand that part of human psychology, but I just don't like the fact that it is negatively impacting Microsoft slash Nintendo or anybody who isn't PlayStation, Sony, especially in lieu of the current or recent behaviors of Sony. And I'm like, are y'all are literally Stockholm syndrome people right now, because they are doing evil things that are not pro-consumer. They're anti-consumer, and y'all are just like, oh, give me more Poppy. And I don't get it. I'm like, I would be so, if I was a Sony fan, if Microsoft did this to us, the Xbox community, I'd be like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done, son. I'm gonna buy an Xbox for Forza. Oh, you know what? I just play it on PC like everybody else. I'll just play it on PC, even though it's still supporting them. So that's not really a way out. Yeah, I can't buy a PS4 in revolt or opposition to Xbox and play those great games that are not on the PS4, like Forza or Gears or Halo. And people's like, oh, that's all they got is the same game, Forza and the Halo and Gears. That's all they got. Oh, what does Sony have? They have what? Okay, let's go back for a second. Neo. Remember Neo came out, right? A couple years ago? You know how long Neo has been? Neo was announced in 2005 for the PS3. If you don't believe me, look it up. I was watching Digital Foundry. They did a whole thing about all the lies or mistruths, lies that Sony told the public in 2005. You know, based off like the trailers. Oh, this is gameplay. The infamous Killzone 2 trailer, that wasn't gameplay. You know what I'm saying? All those things. They're like, yeah, that's not real. That's not real. This might be real. That's not real. There's a whole bunch of that's not reals in there, basically. And Neo was on that. I was like, I don't remember Neo in 2005 at the Sony press conference. It was a short little trailer, but I was like, oh snap, that game was in development for almost 8-9 years, and then everybody's like, oh man, Neo's so good, this is the greatest game, oh man. I'm like, it takes y'all like almost a decade to get a good, and Neo wasn't even like a God of War AAA game. It was like, it's alright. And I'm not saying they were working on it for 8 years. I'm just saying people praise Sony for giving developers time to make games, but when they're sitting here, they're hypocrites. When they sit here and they say, oh, that's not good for our business, so we're not going to do that. I'm like, hold up. You going to give Polyphony Digital 15 years to make a game and it sells like hot garbage, but you won't do crossplay because that's not good for business? Come on, son. That's some bullshit right there. You're full of sight. You're hypocrites. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm like, oh my. I was like, yo, I'm going to give me a PS4. I'm going to get these exclusives. I'm going to be good because gamer, you know what I mean? But I'm like, why should I even support? I feel sorry for the studios that are in the situation where we get to go with Sony because they're leading the none. This is about business, right? Business. At the same time, Microsoft is bending over backwards to make gaming better for everybody, for everyone. They're making these accessibility controllers. Sony's not even thinking about that. You know why? Because, will that make us a whole bunch of money? No, we're not going to do it. If you have a relative, son, uncle, daughter, whatever, and then, maybe they're paraplegic, well, you can still play with it. If they're quadriplegic, class, whatever, there's different stages, and they have limited movement, you can't it's very hard to buy a PS4 and play some games. Why? Because they have no options. You got to rig this and rig that. The Xbox, they just came out with something like, yo, here's this. You get all the plugs in the back. Boop, boop, boop. You do what you need to do. Bam. You're good to go. And that plus, that controller is kind of dope because you could make if you wanted to, you get an Xbox, you get that controller, you could hook up some crazy arcade type of situation with all kind of actuators. You could do a real steel battalion because every plug in the back is a correspondence to every input on the Xbox One controller. So you could literally build every like button press or direction is a switch. So you could do it. I'm sure somebody's working on it. Somebody has to be working on like a crazy uh, a crazy type of controller for, I don't know, I guess driving sims or flying sim would be the thing. But I don't think there's a game out there that would that's really supportive of that, unless I think it's still Battalion backwards compatible. I know it was for 360, I think. So I don't know, it might come, but whatever. But anyway, I mean, I know I'm tired, and the Sony hate cast. You know what? I'm seriously thinking about doing that. That's a good idea. See what you did there, Pace? You've created a monster, and this monster might, I don't know. Sony hate. I might have to color this all green. You know what I'm saying? Put the green all in it, be like, yo, yeah. That'll be horrible. Ooh, I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to do that. I mean, I don't want to do that because I got to work, and I can't go to work with green ass facial hair. And they'd be like, what the hell? Nah, you better go and wash that Kool-Aid off your face, boy. Hey, what you got to do? How you gonna, what you got against green? Hater. Anyway, also, we watched Jurassic Park Kingdom Fallen Dinosaur Land. Me and Bridget watched that on Monday, Tuesday, I don't know, one day. We watched it. I'm gonna talk about Jurassic Park. I'm gonna talk about Jurassic World, not Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Falling Dinosaurs Off the Cliff Kingdom. I'm gonna talk about that real quick because I got some thoughts. Jurassic. I'm kind of sad because Jurassic World was like, oh, okay, this is all right. This is, this is the evolution. I mean, it's still kind of a cash grab, but it's not like, it's all right. Okay, whatever. They just make the biggest dinosaur bigger and more diesel or whatever, and there's a formula there. Kids falling. Dinosaurs chasing, eating people, screamings, Jurassic in the word title. Anyway, so Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, set a little bit after the last movie, the last Jurassic World, and it's all right. It starts off. Okay, so I watched the Red Letter Media critique of it. And those guys are brutal. I like watching them because they're funny, and they kind of point out the obvious. And actually, I like, if I want to be just dumb and ignorant and just enjoy a movie just for like, I don't care, I don't want to look at it critically, then I'll do that. But if I want to kind of, I watch them in order to see the things I might have overlooked, basically, and or the things that I was feeling but I couldn't articulate or kind of work them out in my brain as like, it was like, you say, oh, it was okay. I'm like, why? But it was all right. That's not good enough. They distilled it down. Basically, they said it was the dumbest script. It was written very poorly, basically. But they said it was beautifully shot. The composition, the directing, all that stuff is great, but the writing was bad. And Trevorrow he's the one who wrote it. He wrote the first one. He wrote and directed the first one. He co-wrote this one, and they had somebody else direct it. The guy who directed The Orphanage directed this one, and it is a darker movie. The second half is super dark with the Endoraptor. That's the name of the new big baddie dinosaur. He's not super big, but he's the smartest dinosaur ever, and he just happens to be a giant-sized raptor with super long arms. Anyway, the second half of the movie is basically in a mansion, and it's crazy. And the Red Letter Media guys had a very good point that would have made the movie way better. They should have made that Endoraptor, the alpha evil dinosaur, way smarter than it was portrayed in the movie. So what they did was, they created the Endoraptor from Indominus Rex, a little bit of Indominus Rex and whatever else, who cares. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And they were like, this is a prototype, so we're not gonna have the real ones ready, and this is just a prototype. And then They bid it for the. Okay, so the whole thing is the dinosaurs were on an auction, black market auction. People with a whole bunch of money were buying the dinosaurs for pets or whatever. And so anyway, they pointed out that the Endoraptor in the chase scenes in the mansion was kind of just crashing through stuff, and you know, and Mike, he was like, if the dinosaur was that smart, it would avoid obstacles and evade trashing through things, because it's more efficient to go around something when you're at pace than to physically run through something to slow you down and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. An intelligent animal would instinctually avoid obstacles. That's just how we work, as animals of Earth. If something's thrown at your head, you're gonna move your head out of the way because you don't want to get hit. So that was one point. And another point was, at one point, like I said, the Dominus Endoraptor was crashing through stuff trying to get to he was chasing a little girl, and then it was like a hound dog. It was sniffing he sniffed the scent. He could like track people, and he tracked the girl to her bedroom. Basically, he like gingerly opened the door and slowly crept in, and then was creeping up on her. And that's where you see in the trailer, you see the claw coming to grab the blankets off. And that's total opposite of what just happened before when the Endoraptor's crashing through dinosaur bones in the gallery and I'm like, yeah, if the Endoraptor was super agile, super intelligent, never really getting hit by anything, ducking and all that stuff, it would be more formidable. It would be more like, whoa, how is this dinosaur? How are these humans gonna beat the dinosaur, basically? And I think they didn't. I don't think they put enough thought into that part of this scenario in order to elevate the whole movie, because at that point it was just a horror movie with dinosaurs in it, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. You want to show live dinosaur crashing through old dinosaur fossil bones? That's fine, but you should have found another way. And Blue was there. Blue saved the day, of course. Blue was dope. I like Blue. Blue is like my favorite dinosaur. If you got a favorite dinosaur, Blue is the one. And they show like little. They showed it in the commercial, but they show when she was little and she was little cubbling. What's a little dinosaur cubby? I don't know. She was little and he was petting it. Owen Thunderguns. That's what they call him. Owen Thunderguns was petting her and she was so cute. I was like, I want a little Blue. But now when she grow up and start eating you, because she ate a few people. She ate the bad guys, though, so it was okay. But, yeah, it was a beautiful movie, beautiful to look at. Music is cool because it's, Michael Giacchino, however you say his name. Giacchino, I think it's Giacchino. And the first half is, the island blowing up, them rescuing it, and then frickin' Stoudemire from Monk, Buffalo Bill comes through like, oh, I want me some teeth, and he goes grabs the teeth, and that was, the best part of the movie. Tiger Class says there's one scene early on that hit the hell out of people hard. Yeah, I'll spoil that because this movie is. So the part Tiger Claw's talking about is when they were leaving the island and all the dinosaurs didn't escape, so all the dinosaurs are running and jumping off the cliff. And one brachiosaur is on the dock, and she's like, "Rah!" And the lava's coming, and the flames and the smoke, and she gets enveloped by the flames and the smoke, and she's crying and stuff. They don't show it like graphic burning up, but first of all, don't you think the brachiosaur would have jumped in the water? All the other dinosaurs jumped, and it was on a dock. The water was like right there. I'm sure the water wasn't that deep at the dock. This is the volcanic island, so it shouldn't be that much of a drop off from right there, you would assume. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. That was a hard hitting part, but what was the other part I had in my brain there? Dinosaur. It's about the first half of the movie too. So they went to the island, dinosaurs, trying to rescue the dinosaurs. And then what happened? T-Rex came out. Rawr. Some other dinosaurs. Wow, I can't remember. Stoudemire's grabbing teeth. Yeah, I'm starting to get a headache. That's why my memory fails me when my headaches come into play. But yeah, the first half is like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, they're gonna rescue the. I don't know, man. It's like we saw The Incredibles first, right? Not the same day, but we saw it earlier in a week, about a week apart. And then we saw Jurassic World. Incredibles was better. Even though The Incredibles wasn't as good as the first Incredibles 2 wasn't as good as the first Incredibles, Incredibles 2 is still better than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So if you have a choice in seeing The Incredibles 2 or Jurassic World, see Incredibles 2. See that. It's way better. She says, oh, there's this girl in the movie in which we find out later why she's so special. Oh, yeah. Another spoiler. The granddaughter of the Hammond surrogate, the old man whose dream was it to make the dinosaurs, is not really his granddaughter. She is a clone of his daughter. So he had a daughter. I guess she died or whatever. He cloned his daughter. That's his granddaughter. So they have the cloning technology, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, she lets out the dinosaurs. And now the dinosaurs are in Las Vegas. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. Oh man, this movie. The more I think about it, I'm like, I think The Last Jedi is better than this movie. as much poo-poo caca that Last Jedi gets, I think The Last Jedi is better than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I'm just saying. There's so many like kind of good ideas. Like, okay, the Endoraptor, that's a good idea, but they messed it up. They messed that up. The relationship between Owen and Claire, they kind of messed that up too. They basically reset it. So like in the beginning of the Lost of Jurassic World, the first one, they were like and then she was all stuck up, and then at the end she was more adventurous, and they got together kissing, right? Now they broke up again. I guess Owen left her, or they broke up, whatever, who cares? He's building a freaking cabin in the woods, and she's like, yo, we gotta go get Blue. And he's like, nah, son, I'm good, boom, 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 and then he ends up going anyway. I'm like, huh? So dumb. And it's, Tycho says the title Jurassic World has now become literal. So yeah, so Blue, like she at the end of the movie, she runs up and she's like on a cliff, and it overlooks like a suburban, cul-de-sac division. So she's gonna be going through garbage cans or whatever. The sad part about how they set that up is that Blue is the hero, is kind of the hero of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Blue, even though she killed some people, she killed the bad people. She killed the bad guys. But as a dinosaur, she's gonna eat. I don't know if she would distinguish. Is she gonna eat people? Is she just only gonna eat criminals? I don't know if she knows that. I mean, she's smart, but she kind of follows the alpha, who is Owen. So, Owen Thunderguns. So I was like, I don't like how they set that up, where she's gonna be like a bear that wanders into the neighborhood and eats your garbage or something, And I'm like, that's kind of messed up. So, I don't know, man. And the shot that they showed in the commercials where the big, I forgot, the water dinosaur, and it's like on a big wave and somebody's surfing and it's like in the wave and it like kind of crashes, the guy falls off the surfboard and it crashes through and they cut it right there. I'm like, that was in the commercial. That was like the only other scene besides the beginning was only the scene with that dinosaur in there. I'm like, oh man, they could have had all kind of other stuff with that. They could have another Jaws with that one dinosaur, So I'm like, I was like, it's not a horrible movie. As far as if you want to see something pretty, if you want to see Jurassic Park with pretty dinosaurs and pretty special effects, this is a good movie. Don't pay attention to the writing or the story, because it makes no sense a lot of the time. And it makes it worse. And it's really bad. And I'm like, the bad guy, the one guy who's taking care of the finances for the family or whatever, he is literally the same guy in the Lost World. He is the same guy, except younger. I'm like, he actually kind of looks like him too. Tyler says there's already another Jaws movie, and it's coming out this year, The Meg. I know. I'm just saying it could be kind of. I guess not. With the Megs, I mean not the Megs. The whatever the frickin' the Allosaur. I don't remember what it's called. The big water dinosaur. It can come on land a little bit, right? It just has the paddle feet, so it's kind of hard for it to come, but it can, I believe, because I believe it's an air breather still. Just it's like a giant gator basically. Mosasaur, thank you, Mr. Movie Tiger Claw. But yeah, so I mean, they didn't recommend the movie. I'm not gonna go that far. I would say see it just to satisfy your curiosity. You might love it. For the most part, I was like, and then like at one point the Endoraptor like is like in the display and they're trying to eat everybody, and then he sinks his claw into Claire's leg, and I'm like, the claw is huge, right? The claw is like this long, this wide around into the leg. I'm like, yeah, I'm not that leg's not being used. If I got a big hole in the leg, stab the muscle, you're not gonna be walking on it. Of course, she's running on the roof at the end, making noise to distract the Endoraptor so it can fall through. And it's the more I talk about it, the more I get a little disappointed. But like I said, for cinematography and such, definitely go see it because it's beautifully shot, composition wise, color grading. There is one part that that's a mess up that I caught as I was watching it. Owen, Thunderguns, and the nerd kid and Claire, they're running they're running on the dock. They made it to like the dock and the asphalt part, and stuff is exploding and stuff. And the first shot they show of them once they get on like the asphalt part, they're like looking back like there's supposed to be explosions and everything happening around them, especially Owen. But there were no explosions. It was just them running. So I was like, oh, they messed up a little bit right there. Because I could see if he was like looking back to see if they were there, but he was kind of pantomiming stuff happening around. And that was the one part that kind of took me out of it for like 1 second. But everything else was straight, though. Everything else, like the whole, a lot of the practical effects. There's a lot of practical effects as far as the dinosaurs go. Like the whole Endoraptor when he's, that's the one part I wanted to talk about. The Endoraptor and Stoudemire and Buffalo Bill in the cage. That part was dope. Was that the best part? I'm trying to think. I think that might have been the best part in the whole movie. Yeah. So Tycla says the character played by Henry Wu survives again. So no doubt he'll be back for the third and probably make another hybrid. Yeah, of course. I'm waiting for them to make a hybrid human. That's where this is going. It's going to be, they already cloned the girl. They got they're going to mix, this is what the next Jurassic Park movie is going to be, because they're like, you know what, we can't really weaponize these dinosaurs, but maybe we can put some camouflage in humans, you know what I'm saying? And so they'll make some humans with the camouflage, and so they'll be invisible humans in the, you know what I'm saying? That seems like the logical next step, right? I'm just saying. If they're all concerned about weaponizing these animals, why not just take the attributes of certain things? I mean, they could have done that with before, but anyway. So the best part for me in the movie was the second half of the movie where they're auctioning off all these dinosaurs on the dinosaur black market. What happens? Oh, the Ramosaurus, just the one that rams, and he gets loose through a series of events. And he gets into the crowd and chases all the crowd away. Everybody leaves. All the buyers leave. And so this is when the Endoraptor came out. The Endoraptor was the last dinosaur out. And so the Endoraptor comes out, and they just leave him there basically because of what happens. And so the Endoraptor's just out there, and Stoudemire comes in and he's like, oh, because he's collecting dinosaur teeth because he's just whatever. And he rips out a dinosaur tooth of Stegosaurus in the beginning. And it wasn't even knocked out. He just ripped it out. And it was like, Rawr! So he's like, oh, I gotta get me Endoraptor tooth, right? So he shoots it like 3 times with the trank gun, like, and the Endoraptor passes out. And he goes in, he's like, oh, look at you. And he's the Endoraptor asleep and stuff, right? And he takes out his pliers to go get the tooth, and he can't get the tooth. Like, oh man, the tooth is tough, right? And so the camera pans around to the backside of the Endoraptor, you know, where you can see like kind of half its face, and then it opens his eye, basically, and it looks at the camera, basically, like, yo, and it like waves his tail up, and then the tail goes back down, and Stoudemire's like, oh, okay, there's nothing. And everybody's like, everybody in the audience is like, oh, you about to get ate. And then he's still trying to pull it. And then the tail comes up again. And then that time, Stoudemire sees it. It's like, oh. And then Endoraptor, shako, right on his arms. Ah! His arms all broke up, and he lifts him up. And then he eats him. But that was a cool part, because things like that, it showed the intelligence of the Endoraptor. And I wish that they would have kept going with that. Like, okay, it's super smart, right? But they underestimate how smart he is. And it adds another level to what the movie is. And it could have maybe possibly saved it in a way. You know what I mean? It could have made that dinosaur super... I mean, maybe they'll do that for the next movie. I don't know. But when you make a dinosaur smart enough that, I mean, yeah, sure, it opens doors. They did that in the first movie. But he laid a trap for Stoudemire, for Buffalo Bill. And I was like, oh, my gosh. I was like, all right, you know what? If the rest of the movie is this dinosaur fooling fools and eating them, tricking them, I'll be like, all right, let's go. But that was the only time. I was so mad. I was like, and that's why I was like I saw that part, I was like, oh, there's hope for this movie right now. And then everything else was just like blah, blah, blah. And then freaking at the end, the bad guy gets eaten by I think he gets eaten by the T-Rex or something. It's dumb. I was like, man, this sucks. The Endoraptor dies because it falls through the roof glass thing, and it lands on the fossil horns or something, and Blue's standing on top. Like, oh, this is so dumb. They needed to be. It needed better writing. They needed better writing. I mean, that scene was great. I want to know if that was Colin Trevorrow who wrote that scene, or was the other dude who wrote that scene. That's what I want to know, because whoever wrote that scene should have wrote all the movie, or should have wrote all of the Endoraptor's stuff. Because creating a bad guy, like the human bad guy, no one cares about that guy. He's a bad guy. He's a doofus face. The twist about the girl being a clone, sure. That felt a little forced. I mean, it makes sense, and they set it up okay, but I was like... And then what she does by releasing the dinosaurs at the end, and what she says, oh, they're alive like me, or something. I forgot what she said. I was like, oh. It was kind of cringeworthy. I was like, man... Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm thinking about it like, wow. I mean, I'm not a good writer at all, but I'm like, conceptually speaking, I'm like, that could have been done a better way. Somehow that could have been done better. I don't know how, but that doesn't feel like the best way right there. And I'm saying, just on the Endoraptor side, I could create scenarios where the Endoraptor setting traps for fools, or, you know, not crashing through dinosaurs, or being a little more stealthy. You know, it just makes more sense for something like the Endoraptor to be that way. Not just to follow the red dot and then hit the sound and then it goes. That was so stupid too. That was kind of dumb too. But yeah, whatever. That's Jurassic World. Just see it if you want. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. Why not talk about Sea of Thieves real quick? People, going back to video games, the problem with people, fanboys and all that stuff, people who are playing Sea of Thieves really like Sea of Thieves because it's a good game. People who are haters, dismiss it and say, oh, it's a failure, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, Microsoft just recently announced they got 3 million people still playing Sea of Thieves. So I guess it's not really a failure because 3 million people are still playing. How many people are still playing God of War? You know what I'm saying? Probably not 3 million. So, you know, and people will still continue. They can, the way the Sea of Thieves is set up, it can actually grow its audience. It can grow more than 3 million. That's not how it works with the God of War, right? So, they did a new update where the skeletons. It's part of the bilge rats. I don't want to call them guilds, but that's a better. There's no better term. The guild, the Bilge Rats Club or whatever it is. So it's a guy. I think his name is Duke. He's in the bar. He's like, yo, what's up? And you talk to him. He's like, oh, Bilge Rats, and you could buy some skeleton bone accessory. I like about the jacket and the dress because I have a female character. I bought the jacket, and that's all I bought. But now you can earn more. The blooms basically is what is the new currency. The first one was gold something, but now it's the bloom. So there's two different currencies in Sea of Thieves. And so the other stores, like the Bilge Rats, use the blooms, and then the other stores use the gold. But it's not that confusing. It's just the two. And it's cool because I was like, man, I did all the skeleton thrones, so I can't get any more doubloons. But now they just released a patch where they have skeleton. It's like achievements basically. So they have a gunpowder keg skeletons where there's a skeleton on most of the islands. There's gunpowder kegs. So the skeletons, one is carrying it, and then the other are just there, right? So I go on my little skeleton cruise to get me some skulls, and they're there, sitting there. I did a clip on. I put a clip on. I recorded a clip. I should put it up on Facebook or something. And where there was two skeletons and like a couple of two powder keg skeletons and a couple other ones, and I shot one and did a chain reaction. I got an achievement for it. I was like, oh man, it was a cool explosion. And I was like, and when you do these achievements, it says blow up 3 skeletons by shooting the barrel, basically. And when you do that, you have to do 3 of those, and then you get, you know, it's a certain amount, 5, 10, 15. The one that I did with the chain reaction was 20, so I was like, oh yeah. So now I can go buy like a spy, whatever the sniper rifle. I forget what the sniper rifle's called. The bone sniper rifle or the blunderbuss or the other one. And so I was like, oh man, this is cool. So now I can earn the blooms from doing all these skeleton blow up, basically achievements. So now what they're doing is they're adding just kind of common gameplay elements to. It's like a layer. It's an extra layer of gameplay to the already collect the skulls, and you get comment recommendations or commendations, and you get gold and stuff. So on top of that, you get these achievements, or these you get these, you know, and you get the blooms, so you get even more. Oh, it's great. It's great. I was like, yes, now I have a reason to actually go and play Sea of Thieves like every day. Besides doing the Pirate Legend stuff, is this, so I can get more doubloons, because I only have 20 now, but I have like 60,000, 66,000, I think, gold. So I'm like, you know, I don't spend that much gold on anything really. I mean, I want to hook up my ship eventually, but that's 70. I think it's 70. So I'll keep on doing, like, you know, I do like 1 or 2 a night, because it takes a while, because I'm doing it by myself. If I had a crew, then it would be easier. And I don't like to steal other people's stuff, and I'm like, hey, no, I'm friendly, please don't steal my stuff, please. And what I always do is like, I'll like sometimes there's 2 parts to a skeleton to the skulls, the mystic or whatever it's called, that one. So I'll do the first part and get the skulls, like 2 or 3 skulls, and then I'll turn those in for the money, and then I'll do the rest of the voyage. And then turn those in, so I don't have a whole bunch of stuff on my ship, because if I sink or somebody comes to steal my stuff, you know, you can't get it back. Well, if you sink, I think it stays, your loot stays where your ship sinks, because, okay, so say if you got a ship full of loot, you got chests, you got all kind of stuff, spices, you got, you know, got skulls, and your ship sinks. Either you got shot by skeletons on the island because there's cannons on the islands, and some skeletons will go shoot you when you pass by. And that's what happened to me. I was parked, and a skeleton hit me, and I was just trying to stop, and I totally forgot that he hit the ship, and I went on the island and I did the thing, and I killed I suicided myself. I had a gunpowder keg, and I walked up to the last. It was a gold. It was one of the metal skeletons, so I couldn't. For some reason, I couldn't shoot it. So I lit the keg right in front, and I killed myself and the skeleton. So I got the skeleton, I killed it, so the skull dropped, but I died, and my ship sank. So I spawned like an island or two away, which was cool. So I was like, whew, I don't have to go across. And the cool thing about it is that when you die and your ship, whatchamacallit, sinks, you stay in the server. You don't leave the server. You stay in the server, and then it'll just spawn you somewhere else with a new ship if you need it. And so usually it'll spawn you on the ship. So if my ship didn't sink, I would have spawned right there. But it did sink, so it spawned my ship a couple islands away, and it was all new and stuff. So that's the cool thing about it. And there was nobody around. Nobody sank me. It was just the skeletons on the island. So I just went back, and I had like 2 treasure items, and they were still there. They were floating in the water. So I was like, I grabbed those, doot doot, and I was like, good. And I grabbed the skull, boop, and I traded them all in. So I didn't lose any progress as far as that. And it was a while. I was fighting those fools for like a half an hour or an hour or something. And that's just a regular. That's not even like a skeleton fort. Skeleton forts take a long time because it's wave after wave after wave of skeletons and different types of skeletons, like the veggie skeletons, and then the ghost skeletons, and then the metal skeletons. It's crazy. So it's really cool. And that's just the skeleton stuff. And now they're gonna have the cursed sails, which are gonna be skeleton ships, which is gonna be crazy. The Megalodon is in the world, just out there. I mean, there's more than just one, but I haven't run into her. I've heard the Kraken many times. Like, well, it was like at nighttime, and I was at one of I think it was like Golden Shores Harbor. I forget what the outpost was, the Golden Outpost, and you can hear it. You can hear it like in the background. I'm like, and it's the audio is directional, so I was looking. I was like, where is it? Where is it? I guess one day I might be adventurous to go seek it out, but I've not encountered the Kraken yet, and I don't think I want to. I like the Meg because it's a full model. It's the shark. You see it in the water. You go in the water. You see it through the water. But the Kraken, the water turns dark, so you can't see. And they did that in order to not have to render the whole model. But I hope they change that. I hope they go back and they actually build the model for the Kraken so that we can see it. And even though it might be too big or too deep to reach and like do any real damage, but still, give us that. I mean, that's something that I think they should do. And I don't think it would be that hard to do. I mean, they did the Megalodon, so, and the Megalodon is bigger than the sloop. Definitely, is it bigger than? I think it might be bigger than the galleon too, as far as lengthwise, or barely bigger than the galleon. So it's not about. I don't think it's about. Oh, we don't have enough, performance or anything. I don't think that's it. There's a way to do it, and they should do it. So that's my one complaint about the Kraken stuff, but. And I think there's gonna be giant crab monsters. There's so many things that they're adding. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is cool because the game is still alive. It's like keeps changing, keeps getting better, and I'm so happy about that. Sea of Thieves is great, and it's relaxing too when you're sailing and you're just hearing the water, especially when you're in like the Caribbean, the southeast, and the eastern side of the map. It's like all clear blue water. It's all pretty looking. But if you go over to the west, I'm sorry, the west is clear. The east is darker color. And when you go there, it's like, ooh, and that's why the seas are a little rougher, more storms generally speaking. But it's still fun. So people hating on Sea Thieves, I don't get it. Maybe they're Sony fanboys and they're jealous because they don't have anything close to it. Speaking of Sea of Thieves, I saw gameplay of Skull and Bones, and that's the only competitor, if you want to say. That's the closest thing that is to Sea of Thieves, a pirate kind of. Actually, Skull and Bones is an open world. It's just a big map. I was not impressed. Skull and Bones is not. No. If people play Sea of Thieves and they thought that was whack, Skull and Bones is just a multiplayer shooter in boats. It's like if you change the boats to tanks with a whole bunch of people on them, shooting out the sides of them. Oh, actually, I think they have guns in the front too, because and these boats are huge. But I was like, okay, and then there was a part where you like pull like you damage your boat enough, you pull alongside of it, and you jump across, you board the other, and you take them over or sink them, whatever, and get the booties. It's a cutscene. You don't even do it. It's a cutscene. It's the same thing all the time. So they jump over and they punch the dude, and then it fades out, and you're back on your ship. I'm like, what was that? I was like, why even have the animation? Just go bling, and then the ship sinks or whatever. And it's like, got all it. That's so unnecessary. So I was like, okay, that's kind of whack. You can't get off the ship. There are cutscenes where the characters are off the ship talking to some voodoo dude. He's like throwing bombs, like oh blah blah. But other than that, which is a cutscene once again, there's no the player going off of the ship and doing pirate stuff. Nope, you're just all on the ship. And I was like, and then there was a sunken ship, and there was like supposed to be treasure in the sunken ship, so they pulled alongside and say, oh shoot, they're gonna explore the ship. Nope, another cutscene. They jumped, or they jump back, and then they throw the chest or whatever that they collected down, and boom, you're back behind. Mr. Winslow, need more speed, Mr. Winslow, more speed, and that's cool. Where they're shouting each other's name and stuff. Like, all right, that's piratey. But other than that, I'm like, nah, no. And it's a lot. It's like is that realistic? Because the guns are like shooting like boosh, boosh. I'm like, that's fast. How you gonna reload a cannon that fast? It's like machine gun cannons on there. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So in that part, the visceral nature of the shooting the cannons is cool, but everything else is like, nah, no, thank you. And you can make friends, and you can be on the same team, or you can turn against them. I was like, yeah, no. I would rather play Sea of Thieves any day, because you can get off the island, you get off the ship, and then they're gonna add a middle ship, where it's a 3-person ship, and then they're gonna add rowboats. Now, here's the thing. So with the rowboat, I'm gonna take my ship with my rowboat, and I'm gonna take it out, and I'm gonna plant it wherever, and I'm gonna take my rowboat, and I'm just gonna be rowing everywhere. It's just be a little rowboat, and nobody's gonna find me because it's such a small little boat. I'll be sneaking up on fools like, yo, what's up, man? I'm in my stealth boat. I wonder if you could do like a livery on your rowboat, where you could like match it with your boat. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. I hope so. That'd be so cool. But yeah, man. I mean, Sea of Thieves is good. Sea of Thieves is good. I mean, I know the PlayStation fans or fanboys, I'll say more so, don't understand how good multiplayer gaming is. That's why they discounted, I believe, and that's why they champion more single player games, because they don't have multiplayer games. If Sony had legitimate good multiplayer focused games that were actually in competition with everybody else, namely Microsoft, because Microsoft is killing it with it. I mean, they're just, yeah. So they got H1Z1, King of the Kill, I believe that's what it is, which came out before PUBG, yes, but it's riding the coattails of PUBG. And I played PUBG yesterday, which was cool, because I was like, oh, okay, let's see what they did. They changed the menus, they changed a whole bunch of stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. Performance is up. I had no problems. I think I was number 4. Yeah, it was number 4. Only because I was dumb. I was like crawling around. I wasn't being smart. I wasn't like hiding behind a tree. I was just like kind of crawling around, trying to get to like a shady spot, and then somebody sniped my ass. I was like, ah, son of a bitch. I just stayed in my truck and just drove around in a circle and hit somebody when I can. But they've gotten good at killing you in the truck, so I can't do that either. But anyway, yeah, man, these multiplayer games done right are all. Just look at Rocket League. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like Rocket League was dope, right? And Sony had Rocket League before Microsoft on their PlayStation 4. They're like, yeah, man, it's cool. And everybody's like, yo, Rocket League is dope. And it was free. So it was like, oh, man, this is so good. And it's good. It's a good game. But this whole crossplay thing happens now. And it's like, wait a second. Like, it's kind of like moving forward. If you have a Switch and a PC and a phone, and you want to play your games that are crossplay, quote-unquote crossplay, and you have a PS4, would you play it on PS4? Like, if it's a Fortnite, if people knew that if you linked your Epic account to a PS4 Fortnite game session, that it will lock it on there, would people do that, knowing that it would lock them out from the Switch? And they had the Switch, and they were like, yeah, I'm gonna play this on the Switch. Would they do that if they hadn't done it and said, you know what, would they do that? I don't think they would. And that's the whole thing. I'm like, how can y'all sit here and allow Sony to be so evil? Y'all just like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, no. They literally they didn't lie, but they failed to let the consumers know what was happening, and everybody's mad now. And nobody's doing anything. So I want to see a class action lawsuit or something, because if you're spending thousands of dollars, because some people are crazy like that. They got money. Or you're spending hundreds of dollars on your stuff, right? Say you're on PC. You spend $400 on Fortnite on PC because you're buying, costumes, or your kids want this or whatever, right? You bought all this for Fortnite, yeah, whatever. And you say, oh, let's play it on PS4 one time. Yay, we did it. And you say, never mind. Oh, we got to switch now. Let's play it on that's where we're going to play it now. And you can't, and you spend all that money? Hello? Why is no one there has to be a class action lawsuit coming up, because that's just not. No, I spent all this money on PC. I didn't spend it on the PS4, so you better unlock my account. And they can do it. It's just they don't want to do it because their reasons, because business reasons. Oh man, it makes me so angry and so glad that I'm not part of that ecosystem, because if I was and that happened to me, I would make it a super duper liddly duper point for me to become super famous in order to defame Sony on that point in particular. Not because of everything, but just their evil business practices. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. They're not looking good right now, and they just don't care. They don't care. They're like, nope, we care about the money. I'm like. And people defending them need to get slapped. If you defended Sony on that, you need to get slapped. I'm sorry, that's straight up, because that's just not nope. I don't. So bad. Yeah. But I mean, that's the gist of it. I'm trying to think. Did I have anything else? I don't think I had anything. I was just such in a good mood today because I got my computer audio working real good on here and my music stuff, and I don't feel as crappy as I have been feeling. So I feel better. Still, the lighting has changed in here because I have a backlight on my TV because I tore apart my TV because the backlight on my TV broke, right? So the screen still worked. It still had a display and everything on it. It just, the light didn't shine through so I could see it. So I took the whole TV apart, built a bamboo frame, mounted the glass, the TV glass, and all the circuit boards are under. It's a couple of little circuit boards. Yeah, I'll show you. Yes, let me see if I can show you. I can't pull it. Let me see. So that's the screen, and it's like let's see. You can see my hands through the screen. That's the screen. You see my hands through it. It's not a reflection, and that's all the circuit board stuff is underneath. It's hard to see. It's out of focus, and it's blown out. But sorry, but that's all the circuit board stuff right there from the TV. It's the little stuff. But oops, I done messed it up now. Ugh. But But yeah, so I have to build a better light box in the back. So I'm working on that. I got to buy some more lights and then just build it out and make it bigger because I'm putting it about a foot and a half away from the actual screen because I want it to be kind of see-through in 3D and stuff. So yeah, I'm doing it that way. I mean, I can see it. It's not the best um, picture, but I can read everything. I can see it. So it's almost there. And I have to put something across here to block the light because right now it's like you can see the reflection in my glasses right there. And that's from the bleed through. Anyway, yeah, I did that because I don't want to waste the screen. It's like, oh man, the TV don't work. Like people would just throw their TV away basically because it's no screen, right? But I'm like this. Like you could test it if you turn it on and you use a flashlight. You could still see like when it turns on and stuff. I'm like the screen still works. The everything still works. Just the light doesn't work in the back. And it was an LED screen, so it wasn't like the whatchamacallits blew out. The LCD. I mean the fluorescent lights blew out. It was LED. So I'm not too keen on wiring LED stuff. I know it's simple. You put a few. I mean a whatchamacallit and then positive negative, but I tried a little. I was like, no, I can't do it. So I just bought some LED lights, and I'm gonna put those in a box. So I take those apart and mounted the ballasts on the back. So I have to take all that stuff apart again and redo it in a way that makes more sense, basically. So, and I might do a little design in the back since it is kind of see-through. What I wanted to do was I wanted to do like a more holographic where it's super clear, but you can't do that because then you lose all of the blacks, basically. That's one of the thing that I didn't realize about televisions. So like you think, oh, the contrast or the brightness is you messing with the light and the backlight. It has nothing to do with the backlight. The backlight is just constant light. I mean, some are different. The new LED dot matrix or whatever they call TVs, where every dot is a light source or whatever. That's different. But these were just an array of LEDs. But you can control the brightness and the contrast and the color and all that stuff. Well, of course, color, but brightness and contrast for the most part. Well, in the screen itself, so I can still adjust the contrast and the brightness, even though the backlight is a separate. It's a separate system now. It doesn't affect. I can do a blue light in the back. I can do an orange light. It doesn't matter what I do in the back, as long as it's illuminated enough so I can see through it. So the wider the light is, the wider the whites. The wider the light is that I put behind it, the wider the whites are on this display. So I can go 1K with the lights and go crazy and have a super duper brighter than brightness super TV. But the heat would be ridiculous, so that's not smart. So, but I did that. I was like, I turned the brightness. I was like, oh shoot, the brightness is it's changing. I was like, that's crazy. I never realized that. So I have right now. I have extra bright to compensate for the fact that the light isn't as bright as the stock light used to be. But yeah. So let me check. Whoops. Let me check. I'm gonna check the interwebs right now to see if there is any breaking news. Gaming, PC. Oh wow! I gotta specifically. So let's do PS4 news. PS4 weekly wrap kit. Sony comments on crossplay. Where to buy PlayStation hits. Sony's budget PS4 classics. H1Z1 PS4 servers down as new update. Fire Pro Wrestling. H1Z1. All rock band legacy songs from last gen now work on PS4 and Xbox One. Fallout 76 won't have cross-platform multiplayer because of Sony, says director. So Todd Howard came out and said, yeah, I'll read it. It's from CNET. But yeah, they're all quoting the same article. So I'll quote it. He says, Ron Howard says, "You cannot do crossplay in 76, he told the publication in the video interview, blah, blah. We'd really love that, but right now we can't." And then he also says, "Sony is not as helpful as everyone would like." So that's Todd Howard shouting out Sony right now. So the devs, when the devs start turning on you, then you know you have a problem, because that's what happened in 2013 at the beginning of the generation. Everybody was on the PlayStation 4 bandwagon, the devs. So now, even though Bethesda's always been on the Xbox side of things, this is even more. Sony exec confident. Okay, so this is another thing I have a problem with media right now. Is context. So what they're doing, this is Ars Technica. The headline says Sony exec confident, quote unquote confident, PS4 cross console play, quote unquote solution, quote solution is coming. So confident and solution are two words taken out of context quoted. So Sony exec confident PS4 cross console play solution is coming. That, how they did that and how they changed it, how they took those words out of context is just disingenuine. Because I'm going to read the whole thing so you can, and I'm going to explain where the context lies. So this is the whole quote from Sean Layden. He says, "We're hearing it. We're looking at a lot of possibilities. You can imagine that the circumstances around that affect a lot more than just one game. I'm confident we will get to a solution which will be understood and accepted by our gaming community while at the same time supporting our business." That is a non-answer. That is saying, I feel that our fans are such fanboys that they won't care that they're not getting crossplay because we're not going to do it because business. He literally said, you just have to conjugate the vowels. You just have to put it through the bullshit translator so that you can understand what he said. He said, I'm sure that our fans will understand why we're not going to do crossplay because we need to make that money. He said, our fans are so ravenous that they don't care. Whatever we do is fine because we're winning. And we need to make that money. Crossplay is dead. This is what he's saying. But Ars Technica is going to write an article, write the title to make it sound like they're actually going to do something when they're not. And the reason why they did it is because they are winning. And more people are PlayStation owners or PlayStation fanboys, whatever. So they don't want to write a negative article or a negative sounding article, headline, that's anti-Sony because Sony's winning. So you see how the winner is dictating the environment, the literature, the dialogue. Even though the winner who is winning is doing some bullshit, some anti-consumer, that's not right stuff. The fact that I'm not part of the pool of people who have spent money, lots of money on PC and wanted to play it on Switch but put it on PS4 real quick just to see what was up and now can't. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm not one of those people. It matters the fact that exists. I've never heard of anything like that in video games. This is the first time. This is unprecedented. And like I said, I'm not talking about crossplay because crossplay was a thing back in the 360, and I can go back and explain why crossplay, when Microsoft said nah to Sony's crossplay, they wanted to do it because Sony's PSN, when they had just started PSN in the PS3 era, and they were like, "Oh, let's do crossplay." It's like, no. Your network is hot garbage. Us linking to your network is going to make us look bad because you got to get your shit together. If PSN and Xbox Live were on the same level as far as performance, then that's a whole different story. Then it's like, okay, Microsoft, why aren't you doing this? Because it's not a performance issue now. It's the fact that, y'all just don't want to do it, whatever. Maybe it was the same reason, but the bosses were different at that time. Phil Spencer wasn't the boss. He was just the head of studios at that time, I believe. So now that Phil Spencer is the boss, right? He's like, yo, let's do crossplay. Sony's like, nope, because of money and whatever, and we're winning, so we don't give a fuck. So when the tables turn, which they eventually will, and Microsoft, Xbox is on top next gen, and Sony's like, oh, snap. All right, let's do crossplay. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna announce we got the PS5 and it's gonna have crossplay native and this and that, and you can play with the Switch and you can. I don't know. Are they gonna do that, or are they gonna be the traditional stubborn Japanese company, too prideful, and be like, nah, you screwed us in 80, whatever it was, 90 something. With the whole PlayStation to begin with. The reason why we're here with the PlayStation 4 or 5 is because Nintendo screwed us. So why should we play nice with Nintendo now? We're not going to do that. Sorry. Just business. And that's their prerogative. But if this eventually backfires on them, are they going to stick to their guns and be like, nah, we're good? I don't know if they could do that. And another thing is a lot of the fanboys don't count PC. I mean, they say, oh, it's not exclusive because I could play it on PC. I'm like, okay, first of all, sure, if you look at it that way, but that's not a good thing. It's like, okay, I want to play Forza Horizon 4. I can get a beast PC and play it the best way possible, or I could play it on the Xbox One X and play it close to the best way possible. You have a choice to play the game how instead you be like, no, I want to play the exclusive on the PS4. It's like, oh, I guess you're not gonna if you wanted to play it in native 4K, I guess that's not gonna happen because you have no choice. You can't play it on PC and play it in native 4K because you have no choice. You're stuck on the PlayStation 4. You can't play it anywhere else. And when they make the argument, oh, third-party games, those don't count because they're not exclusive. Stupids. Madden, the biggest one, FIFA, the biggest sports game on the planet. That doesn't count? If more people play Madden and FIFA on an X than a PlayStation 4 whatever, I think that counts a little bit. I think that's taken away from your player base. So you can pretend it doesn't count, but when you're talking about business, you talk about the numbers, you talk about units sold as far as the games, which is actually more important than the actual console units sold. It does matter. You could pretend until you're blue in the face, till your PlayStation blue in the face, but having a game across multiple platforms is more beneficial to the publisher and the devs and the game itself, because look at the biggest games. I've said this before. I said it last week. I say it every week. The biggest games are multi-platform. The biggest game in history is a multi-platform game you can play almost everywhere. I don't think you can play it on mobile. But Fortnite, which is the most popular game. It's not the biggest game. It's big in popularity. It is the biggest game. You can play it everywhere. It's not exclusive. So when you give me this exclusive argument, that's a reason to buy a PlayStation 4. But the reason to buy an Xbox One X is to play the multiplats. Same reason why you bought a PS4 in the first place, because it played everything better. That is now the reason why to buy an X. That's why some people have bought an X. That's why a lot of people bought an X. That's why Pace bought an X, so he can play those games the best. So I don't understand where, like I said, I understand it because it's the winning mentality, is the want and need to be part of the winning team. And that's why people say these crazy things. Like, oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, who cares about that? Of course it matters. All these things matter. You know. So, you know, when I mean, I torture myself. I listen to PGR and I'm like, wow, these guys are. I mean, they're fun to listen to when they crack on each other and stuff. But when they start talking about like Sony and Microsoft, and I'm like, really? And part of it is like I said, part of it is that winning team wanting to be part of the winning team. Part of it is not going against the popular opinion, the popularity contest out there. I think it's mainly the first point. And you know, Sony, it's the cycle, it's the Sony cycle once again. If I do not understand why Sony is in this position right now, because they've gone through it already. Microsoft didn't go through it. They went through it in 2013, but Sony literally went through it in 2006 with the Ridge Racer, giant enemy crabs, $5.99. Like, what, serious? $600? Are you serious? Or was it $4.99, $3.99, or $4.99 and $5.99? I don't remember. I think it was $4.99 and. Oh, it doesn't matter. But it was expensive. And they haven't learned anything. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I guess they're emulating what the 360 did, but that's not wise, because look what happened to Xbox in 2013. And what's happening to Xbox in 2013 might happen to Sony in 2020, because they're not laying the groundwork to have a successful launch. Like in 2013, Microsoft didn't lay the groundwork. They were just like, yo, we on top, we could do whatever we want. It was just perception. As numbers wise, they were about even, you know, with the PS3 360. But perception wise, it was like Xbox is where you get an Xbox. That's what you do. And so that's what they assumed. And it bit them in the ass because they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared for the backlash. They weren't prepared for the environment in which gamers were at. They weren't prepared with each other and their messaging. They're just horrible. Sony right now is not prepared because crossplay is going to be an issue moving forward. It is an issue now because of Fortnite. Fortnite's the biggest game. They're messing up. They're slipping. And they're doing what they've always done since 2013. They've been quiet when they're in the hot seat. When they're being like, yo, Sony, what's going on? They're like, I don't know. They're playing stupid right now. Being quiet, not saying nothing. Even when Sean Layden said something, he didn't say anything. He said, yeah, we're looking at it. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, business, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't care. Even if he does care, he is not in a position to do anything because, like I said, it is the Sony brass. It is the Japanese heads that are in charge. So they can't do nothing. They're like Reggie Fils-Aimé. They get their orders and then they do it. And that's it. You know, it's not nothing. There's nothing past that. And I will assume that next E3, this Sony E3 press conference will never happen again because it was hot garbage, train wreck time. And Sony in Japan saw that and they were like, oh, hell to the nah. This not happening again. So I will guarantee you that next year is going to be boom, boom, trailer, games, 5 years out, 10 years out. Here's the PS5, blah, blah. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go back to how they were. Trailers, live orchestra, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I guarantee they're not going to pull this Disney World, Disneyland bullshit like they tried. Nope. It was a fail. It was a fail on all. It was a fail if you were there live. It was a fail if you were watching. I'm like, how is this a good idea? I mean, they mainly did it for the live people, but no, it's bad. It's bad. It doesn't matter. So the only thing that Sony had, if you're a PS4 fanboy, the only thing you have to look forward to really is Spider-Man. Dreams is next year. What else is coming out this year? PlayStation. It's just Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man is it. That's it. Just Spider-Man. So yeah. So when this is another argument on BGR or whatever. Like, oh, it's all stuff coming out in 2019. Everything, there's nothing coming out. I'm like, yo, same thing with Sony. Same thing with Microsoft. Xbox got Forza Horizon 4 coming out this fall. The best racing game. Xbox took the crown from Sony. Now that's hard to do because the pedigree of Gran Turismo was the game. I'll admit it. It was hot. You know what I'm saying? Back to PS2 and all that stuff. Was it PS1? I don't think it was a PS1. Was it a PS1? I don't remember. But PS2, it was dope. It was like, yo, Gran Turismo's the truth. Look at that. That's dope, right? And somewhere along the line, they fumbled the ball. And Playground Games was there to scoop. Well, first it was turn 10. They scooped it up. They're like, yo, this is all right. You know, the first two are all right. When Forza Motorsport 3 hit, I was like, okay. These motherflowers, these, all right. Now, I was like, I like this right here. I'm like, I don't know what that was the first year they did the Top Gear stuff, integration, and the whole aesthetic changed a little bit. And I was like, yo, this game is, I was like, I'm not into like the car culture like that, but this game makes me kind of feel like I want to be in it. It like, that's what video games are supposed to do, like make you feel like, oh man, I feel good. I like this. I'm messing with my car and changing it, putting a paint job on it. This is great. And I'm not even that type of car dude, you know. I do a little bit here and there, but not like that. And Forza 3 was I had the second one. I think I played the demo of the first one. I was like, whatever. Standard racing game. I played the second one. I was like, I didn't like it. I was like, it's all right. I played the third one. I was like, how was this all of a sudden way better than what I remember? And then they just kept going on from there. And then when Horizon came out, I was like, the first one, I was like, this is cool. I like this, but I wish that you could go through the fences and go all on the dirt. And then the Forza Horizon 2 came out, and they did that. And I was like, this is my dream game. Thank you, thank you, Microsoft. Thank you, Xbox. You've made one of my dreams come true. You've made Outrun an open world game, basically. That's what you did. You made the little kid in me blossom into a little kid again, basically. I was like, thank you for making video games great again. Microsoft, Xbox, and Playground Games. And then, what did they do? Forza Horizon 3 comes out. It's better than Forza Horizon 2. I was like, how is this possible? How are you making this game better than the awesome best game that was all... You already made the best racing game. Now you made the best racing game all over again. How is this possible? I'm like, and then Hot Wheels comes out. I'm like, wait, no. You did it again. How... At this point, I feel it almost impossible, nearly impossible for Sony and Polyphony Digital to come even close to catching Forza Horizon right now. Forza Horizon / Motorsport right now. I mean, yes, they're two different games, but they're part of the same family of the Forza franchise. So I'm going to bundle them together. So one's more, spec orientated and more sim, and Forza Horizon is definitely arcadey. But they share DNA, so they're in, just like Gran Turismo Sport is part of the Gran Turismo line. Same thing. Now we have Forza Horizon 4 coming out, going to England. Now there's seasons, and I'm like, yo, I don't think they can do any better than Forza Horizon 3. They did Australia. They did freaking Hot Wheels. It's just, you know what? Even if they do exactly what they did in Forza Horizon 3, just a different location, and then add some more Hot Wheels stuff, I'm good with that for the end of time. Just do that. But no, they had to go and make it even better. They're like, yo, seasons. Every week is a different season. It's freaking online. There's gonna be online. It's not just drivatars. It's just real people, and they don't. And the way that they described it, it's kind of like ghosting. So they won't crash into you. They won't mess up if you're doing an event or anything. I'm like, yes, this. My brain is like, and like I said before, the Xbox has become the Forza box for me, because specifically Forza Horizon, because it is arguably the best racing game on consoles. Period. Sony can't touch it, and they used to be the kings, and that's the sad part about it. Is like y'all were in the lead. Y'all were the premier racing console slash company. That was y'all, and y'all just let it go. Y'all just like, eh. And what, like, I'm trying to think, like, why is that? Why did Gran Turismo fall off? You know, why is it that they didn't change with the times? Is it that they were just complacent? Basically, they were like, we're number one, so we don't need to do anything. We're just going to make the same game over and over again. Is that what it was? Or is it they just took too long to make each game, and the differences between each game weren't grand enough for the time spent, like 5 years or 9 years or however it was, for the last full game? I mean, I guess it's a compound of all those different factors, but you can't deny Forza's king. That's it. If you like racing games, you're playing Forza. That's it. A lot of people like racing games. And the fact that they're going to England is a super racing community. They love their freaking, I guess, Le Mans. They love the wow. Wow. The dirt road, the rally. They love the rally. They love racing in general. You know, F1. I don't know if they'll have F1 in Forza Horizon. I doubt it. But the fact that it's in England, it's already going to sell to that, you know, to that demographic. Like, people in England who like racing games will buy Forza Horizon 4, because, if only for the fact that it's in England. Not because it's a good game. Not because it's on Xbox. But because it is a good game, yeah. The pedigree is there. They make good games. It's open world. It's England. It's like, yo, let me see if I can find my house. And so I think there are, I mean, it depends on how they did it, but there's some landmarks there, and they did a side-by-side comparison, like real life and Forza Horizon 4, and I was like, yo, that's kind of close right now. That looks good. Dang, son. So, yeah, man. I mean, and when people just discount it, like, oh, it's Forza, it's the same thing over again, blur. I'm like, okay, good games don't count? Is that what the best racing game in consoles doesn't count? Okay, all right, that's how we playing it. Okay. So the sequel to God of War, the sequel to The Last of Us shouldn't count, because it's the same old thing. It's another Naughty Dog game, blah blah blah, right? Same thing, post-apocalyptic zombies. I'm tired of that. It's not open world. What the hell? Tired of it. It's single player. Ill. I can only play it once and then I'm done. Tired of it. You know, when is that discussion going to start happening? It's not, because the winners are winning, and, you know, fans of the winners want to just, you know, parade and stuff. Yay, we're winning, so it doesn't matter what they do. Yay! Right? They can have the worst press conference in E3 history. Doesn't matter. They still get an A-. Because they had 4 games. And it was funny. I was listening to the B team, and Chip was, the 4 games. Oh, man, the 4. I was like, yeah. And that was before E3 happened. And they had more than 4 games, but those 4 games. They have Resident Evil 2. People are like, oh, man, Resident Evil 2, the remake is so great. Oh, man. I'm like, really? Yeah, a remake. Really? Why couldn't they just make a new game? Why is a remake something that you're excited? And I remember not too long ago, everybody was so, why do they keep making all these remakes and remasters? Why don't they make some new IPs? Why don't they do that? But now it's okay, because it's on the PlayStation. So, but I will assume that it's not going to be exclusive, because Capcom needs the money. So, once again, it was shown at the PlayStation conference, people assuming it's exclusive. Of course it's not. Come on, son. Capcom is not beholden to Sony like that. I mean, they made a couple of deals. like Street Fighter, but that's not exclusive because it's on PC. It's better on PC, so why would you even buy it on PlayStation? That doesn't make any sense. Hot garbage, not even 4K. Come on, son. Why would you do that? Anyway, I'm done. I'm gonna play me some Sea of Thieves tonight. I want to get my the blooms up, son. I'm like, yo, I need some doubloons. I need some doubloons. Everybody wanna just should I use this beat for something or something else? I wanna something else when I'm a something else. Or maybe I could do it like something, yeah. Something, yep. Maybe I could do it like something, yep. But just speak it down, jiggy down, sorry. Nope. I'll end it with this one. Yeah. Once again, Sony are evil sons of bitches. Sony doesn't love you. In fact, Sony hates you because he won't let you do crossplay on Switch. They are holding you back as a gamer. They are restricting your freedom. How are you going to sit here and let this blob of a company, of a corporation, the evil shadows, restrict your freedom as gamers? Game free. Ooh, I should do a campaign like that. I'm thinking. I got like an idea in my brain now. Anyway, I don't want to hear that either. Don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. Nope. Sim on the time on the towel. I wanna pin in the plow. I'm on the crowd. I'ma just rip it and rock. I'ma don't crim in the crop. I'ma just stop. I'ma no rip it and bro. I'ma gon' rip it and flow. I'ma go slow. I'ma go fast and yo. I'ma go flip the flow. I'ma go high and low. I'ma go silky smooth. I'ma go bust the move. I'ma go groove. Every time I'ma go lose. I'ma the with the bazoo. I'ma go who is that? Yes, it's so fat. So everybody wanted on my when the blows. I'm fine when the flow. Everybody know. I'ma know simmer don't block when the don't bones. I'ma don't. Everybody know. I'ma song whip on the side on the tone phone. I'ma down bone. Everybody know. I'ma don't flip. I'ma don't grip. I'm gon' slip on everybody know. I'ma go flip on no flap. I'ma go strip on no strap. I'm gon' smack. I'm gon' bibbity bap. I'm gon' bibbity bap. See your please. I'm on the brim in the pole. I'm on the friend in the flow. I'm on the crime. I'm on the Tim in the bribe. I'm on the give me the gap. I'm on top. Everybody tones top on the top. Alright, y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Everybody in chat. Pace, even though you're a hater. Hecked, even though you don't have a computer that works that good. They're doing like troubleshooting on his PC. I guess you got a new PC. Attack Claw, thanks for hanging out. Jurassic World is hot garbage, just like Sony. Everybody else in chat, I appreciate it. One love, two loves. So later, all games. Tilt the weight. Oh, I turned off my music. Sorry. How do you say? Was it? I don't know if I had the right. I don't know if I had the right thing planned. Hopefully, I'll be on the list. I don't know. It didn't happen last week, but whatever. Leave. Yeah, I might start streaming again next week for the drawing draws. I couldn't because, I'm still trying to heal. My brain is melting and stuff. So, hopefully next week I'll be back on the scene with a pocket full of green. Know what I mean? But until then, tilt to wait. I'll be on Xbox. I'm playing me some Sea of Thieves. I need to give me some doubloons. So, if y'all listening, everybody wanna play, Esgee on Xbox Live. ESGEE. Friend me, and we can go pirating together. Arg. Tilt away. Latest. And all that stuff. I have to wait like 30 seconds because. And I shut everything down, so I don't know. Because.